All right, so we're gonna start by adding some distilled water to each of the cups. You don't need very much. A couple of centimeters in there. Not very much. And the next step is going to be to add the food coloring, about 5 drops to the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the first well of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got yellow, I've got red, and I've got green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to keep this equal, we're going to take about a milliliter of water. We're going to suck up some water into about 1 milliliter and put a milliliter in each well. You want them to be about the same. So you want them to be about the same, no worries. Now I'm going to keep those as separate as I can, because now I'm going to try to make my mixtures. To make the mixtures, I'm going to use just this part of the pipette if I can, and I'm going to take up about that much and then add it. And once I've done that, I can mix it. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take up about that much, and then I'm going to add it into the next one. And then do that to the last one. So that each well is slightly less than the one before it. Notice I'm keeping them separate. I want to try to keep this as controlled as I can. So I don't want to mix my colors, even though the results usually seem to work okay, even if you mix them. And that's it. That's how you make the concentrations. Okay, so the next step is actually pretty cool. And in the next step, there's also a little bit of a technique associated with it. So I have this slide. It's been sitting in light for a while. I'm gonna move it over here, mostly just so you can see it better in the video. In practice, in class, we just leave it there, so it shouldn't make much of a difference. But now with the pipette, all I have to do is just tap it. I don't even have to squeeze it. When I tap it, just tiny little droplets form there. And so I don't have to squeeze it. I can just poke it right on the slide a couple of times. And then I'm gonna switch to my red pipette, make sure there's no water in there, tap it in, and then just tap it on the slide in a couple of places, and then switch. You can see it's already starting to move a little bit, and tap it. And then I'm gonna go with a lighter concentration, so maybe this one from the green, back to red, and you can see, as soon as I do that, everything starts off. And once it starts, it doesn't stop. That's the coolest part. Just tap it on there a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. And there you go. Hopefully, we can see it. There they are, just moving around. I'm gonna add some more red just for giggles here. Another piece of red. A little bit of really light green. Let's put some green on there you can barely see. Now you can barely see it in the camera view here, but you can really see it pretty well in person, so well worth it. And I'm not using any major external source of heat. I'm just using light. So even though I'm using that infrared, I don't have to generate it. I'm not using fire. But the cool thing is it does work. There we go.